Back, the gentleman now recognizes the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Pfluger, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to state that I believe in the best of the above, not all of the above. And I think that differs from state to state. In West Texas, we have no access to hydropower, unfortunately, like they do in the Pacific Northwest. But if you have access to affordable, reliable sources, then we should use those. Mr. Vegas, I think we need to do a math problem here. So sorry for math in public, but let's talk about what the current demand is in Texas for what ERCOT is serving. What are we seeing annually?
Current demand peak in the summer is around 80 to 85,000, and in the winter about 80,000.
Okay.
And
And in the next 3 or 4 years, with added industrialization, added population, data centers, what do we think that is going to grow to in Texas?
we're now forecasting that by 2030, we expect around 150,000 megawatts. So that's an additional 65,000 megawatts over where we are today.
Almost double
Almost double.
in 3 to 4 years. This is incredible. So what I want to get to is when you look at the balance, you're balancing price, you're balancing reliability, you're balancing all these different things. You know, what are the best sources that you are looking for today at 85 and in 3 years at 150 plus?
So we're getting to a point on the Texas grid where you can start to see that the peak demand is exceeding the dispatchable generation that we have available on the grid. So it's important as we look forward to meet the demands of this growth to grow the supply in a balanced way. The balanced resource mix brings, I think, the best portfolio for consumers. It brings cost combinations that vary and give the optimal price, and it also brings characteristics around reliability and resilience that are important. So as we look forward, we need to make sure we keep up with firm dispatchable generation in addition to the strong growth that we continue to see on renewables.
Firm dispatchable generation. So I just looked it up on your website, ERCOT.com, and right now in my hometown it's 78 degrees. And we've got a little bit of wind, which is serving 18% of the grid, 45% solar. But talk to us about when it's hot or when it's cold, and how reliable on those days where you have 100 degree plus, which we have about 90 plus days in the summer in Texas of 100 degrees or more, or when it's cold, how reliable are those sources?
Yeah, as I said earlier, over the course of a year, the actual delivered energy on the Texas grid, 65% of it comes from our thermal fleet, which is our coal, our natural gas, and our nuclear. They are the backbone of reliability. They complement what we're getting from the renewable mix as well. And right now, we need all of the supply that's there. It's clear that we need it all. We're seeing 63% right now coming from renewables. But when the wind isn't blowing and when it's nighttime and in the summer when it's hot, you still need a lot of energy to support that air conditioning load. And that requires long duration dispatchable resources to do that.
I've only taken a few weather classes in my life, but I would invite my colleagues on the other side of the aisle to come out to West Texas in the summer. It's miserable. When the wind blows in the springtime, it at least cools you off, but not in the heat of the summer. NERC said that we're in a reliability crisis. That's their 2024 overview, their analysis. Do you agree with that going forward?
I think the concern with the pace of load growth and the pace of retirements coupled with the lack of dispatchable long duration resources coming online leads to that being a logical conclusion.
Mr. Asthana, I feel like there were responses that you had in a previous line of questioning, and I'd like to give you a minute or so if you want to clear up anything or talk about the role of natural gas, which obviously I think as you look at ERCOT is very important, and it seems like it is to you as well.
Yeah, thank you for that. The only clarification I would make is about half of our system, our capacity is natural gas. And the rate of investment in natural gas infrastructure has significantly lagged the rate of growth of natural gas utilization. And so natural gas is becoming less flexible for us. And that's why one of the things I mentioned in my top 6 hit list is making sure that we invest in natural gas infrastructure because we need it to be flexible.
And Mr. Vegas, I'll end with you in the last few seconds. When government dictates policy that doesn't allow you to have the right capacity, the right mixture? What does that do to affordability, reliability, and at the end, what does it do to our national security?
It's absolutely detrimental to affordability and to reliability, and it risks our energy security.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.